Good morning. So you've just started your company. You're out there, you've just started the mother of all races, where you're up against time, money, very limited resources. You have no idea of what you're doing. You may think you do, but I guarantee you 2 years from now when you're looking back, you're going to be scratching your head going, what was I thinking? And you go on from there. That's the whole process. That's what you're going through. So what happens is you have to get brutally managed against priorities that you set, because you can't do it all. You have to really set a focus. And a mistake that's very often made is the focus becomes, I'm going to focus on the product. And I got to get the product done because I need the product before I can start selling. The problem you have is that if you have a product, you're done with your product, you still don't have a company. You're not a business until you have customers. And let me define customers. Customers are revenue-paying businesses that are paying you money to do what you do. Somebody that you've given the product to try it out, or somebody that you've discounted it to next to nothing and all that, they don't have the skin in the game, so they haven't made the decision that what you're offering is of value to them. So you need to get these companies to step up and say, yes, I'm willing to reach into my wallet and pay you for what you do. So here's the dilemma. How do you do that if you don't have a product? What you do have, though, is a vision. And that's what you have to start selling. There is value in the vision that you have. The Virgin Galactic has no product right now, okay? They have a prototype that they set off a couple years ago. They have over 400 customers right now that have each paid $250,000 for the promise of when that product is going to come around. If you do the math, it's over $100 million they've raised with no product. They don't have it yet. They don't even have a date yet. They have a planned date, which is moved every year. It keeps moving out. But the point is, they sold the vision. So how do you do that? How do you go about selling a vision and starting to actually have a business before you even have a product? Well, salespeople, I always draw this distinction. Salespeople sell product. Entrepreneurs can sell a vision. Virgin Galactic, obviously, is driven by an entrepreneur. They're selling the vision. So you have to go out there and get your customers literally to buy into the path of where you're going to. That's the validation. I've worked with focus groups quite a bit, and there is value there. I don't mean to be saying there's no value there, but they don't have any skin in the game. It's very easy for somebody to say, oh, I like that, or I think that's going to be really good, or I think that's a winner, if they're not reaching into their wallet to pay for it. It's just too easy. So you have to get out there and trial sell your vision. If you've got people stepping up and saying, yeah, I'll pay for that, you're onto something. It'll also help you refine where your product needs to be. If you go out with a product before you've actually tried to trial sell it, you're going to find more often than not it's off the mark. So that's what you have to keep doing. Now, what happens there is there's a second part of this whole thing, which is you've got to do, obviously, a lot of promising. One of my companies a number of years ago won an award for Most Promising New Venture. And I was very proud of that award because that was an award that I won for promising more than anybody else out there was promising. And that's what you have to do. But the other part of this is you also have to deliver. That's half the part, is to promise something that's on target, that's of value to your customers, that's going to solve a problem for them. But then you have to deliver. So you need to build a team that can deliver on those promises. You need to know how far you can go. You look at what you think your team can do. You add another 50% to it. And then you have to get a team that's actually excited about being challenged like that. Most people are very conservative in what they do. There's a lot of fear of failure. Fear of failure is, I'm not going to commit to anything that I'm not 99.999% sure that I can accomplish. That's not going to survive as a startup. That's larger companies going to get away with that. They need to do it that way. Startups can't survive that. So you've got to do a lot of promising, get people to buy into the vision, and then you have to deliver it with the team that you have that can support you on that. The slide that I have here, you may think that's just a blatant plagiarism of some motivational post that's out there somewhere. That's actually, I had the luck of standing on top of Mount Kilimanjaro about 3 weeks ago. So I went and we were able to summit that. So here I had this African company that talked to me about the vision of what it was going to be like to be on the top of Kilimanjaro. Now, climbing Kilimanjaro is not fun. The mountain really doesn't want you there. It does everything in its power to get you out of there. 10 below zero, 70-mile-an-hour winds, just miserable conditions. But yet, even with all of that, an African company could basically sell me the vision of what it was going to be like standing on top of Kilimanjaro. And I just lost it, but that was the picture of sunrise on Kilimanjaro, on the summit of Kilimanjaro. So sell the vision. Thank you.